Hey guys, today I'm doing a quick demo on iMovie. It is Apple's movie editing software. This is the software you use to make your final project movie, family drama. Those of you that have a Mac and Apple computer, you'll be able to use iMovie. It comes free with it. Those of you that have PCs will have some movie editing software. It's different depending on the brand of PC, but all movie editing software kind of work the same. So by watching this, it will give you a really good idea of how to use whatever image movie editing software you have. Let's get started. As soon as you open up iMovie, you see this screen here, which has all your projects, other movies that you may have made before, and then the ability to create a new one. This is how we're going to create a new one here. So click here to create new, and then it gives you the choice to make a movie or a trailer. We're making a movie, so click movie. Now it brings you into our main movie editing screen. Here in the top left is where we get to import whatever media we're using. Mostly that's going to be movie clips, but that could also be audio files as well, for instance. On the upper right, we've got the preview screen. This is where we watch our movie. We see it as we're editing it. And then down at the bottom here is where we drop all our clips into our movie timeline, you could think of it, where we'll see all of the different clips and transitions and audio all together. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get some media in here. So we first want to import media. So we'll click on import media and then navigate to some files. You can see that it automatically allows you to navigate to the desktop to upload files. You can also get them from other devices like a hard drive or from a FaceTime camera or other camera plugged in. But in this case, I've got files on my desktop that I'm going to use. I'm going to use some files I made for a demo project in ceramics to show you how to put a movie together in iMovie. So I'm going to go to the desktop, then navigate to the folder that has this information in it. In this case, it is in the ceramics folder of mine and in this totem rework demo. And so here are my MP4 movie files that I want. When you guys, after you guys have recorded these on your phone and uploaded them onto your desktop, put them in a folder and name it something, and then just navigate to it. So these are the ones that I want here. I'll start with this file here, and I'll click import selected. That's going to bring that movie file in. And now I'm going to go ahead and import another, and this is the import button at the top here. I'm going to click and import one other clip, this one here. However many clips, that is to say however many times you guys started and stopped while you're making your movie, that's the clips that you'll have. So you want to import all the clips that you have for the movie. So now they're up here. They're sort of waiting on deck. They're sort of ready to go. And you can see if I move the cursor over it, it can give me a little preview of what's in that particular clip. Same thing here, just showing me what that is. It shows me. So once you've got your clips imported that you want to use, and you can see them up here, see how long they are. Now we want to drag them and drop them into our timeline. So I'm going to click here to select my first clip, click, drag, and drop it here on my timeline. And so that's right at the beginning, and that's my first clip. And you can see I can run through that as if I'm playing. If I click
soft, and we're doing the same thing here with
the safe bar will make it play. Turn it down a little bit.
Sculpey, we're warming it up
we'll make
a little
it play
bit,
so I can
soft.
see, and I can see it in the upper right-hand corner here as it plays. I can also use the play controls that are right underneath that preview screen. So that's my first clip here. Now if I want to take and drop in my second clip after that, I can, and I can just drop it in right at the end here. So I click to select it, drag it, drop it in, and now that's my second clip. Now I've got two clips, and you can see that the transition is seamless. I can put this right to the end, I can play it, and it will play from one clip right to the other. Now it's got what's called a jump cut, which is a very rough cut, just one scene, one clip to the next. And you guys can can cut it like that, or you can use transitions, and we'll look at transitions in a second. So we've loaded it up to the timeline. Up here, this little scroll bar, this changes how zoomed in we are for the timeline. So I can zoom all the way out, and so I can see sort of the big picture on my 2 clips here. Or I can zoom in so that I can see more of the detail, so that I can place my cursor at a more exact moment in my movie. And you can see here that under the time, I've got where I am. This right here is at 1:48 in this clip, and this clip is 5 minutes. The movie is 5 minutes and 34 seconds altogether. So I can change my view. Sometimes you need to be a little bit zoomed out. Sometimes you need to be a little bit closer in. And then I can use the scroll here to scroll my movie and back to the beginning. So I've got my 2 clips now. I can also split a clip, that is, chop 1 clip into 2 if I want to take a piece of my movie out, or if I want to put a transition in. So I can shorten the clips and I can insert transitions. So if I just click on this, and you can see it's selected because it's got the yellow highlight around it. If I want to begin my movie later in the clip, I can grab the end of it, hover over the end, and you can see I get the arrows that are pointing either side. Click and hold, and I can pull that clip in and make it shorter. And I can go to the end of the clip, and I can do the same thing. I can pull that in and make that clip shorter. That is a way to edit the beginning and the end of that particular clip. I can also place my cursor at some point in the movie and right-click or double-click on the right side of the keypad and come up with my side menu. And here I can split the clip. I can also find this up here under Edit and Modify. But I can split the clip, and that is cut it in that spot. So now it is 2 clips. That allows me to delete. If I wanted to delete this clip, I could just highlight and hit the delete key. I'm going to go ahead and back up. I'm going to undo that delete. I can undo that delete and edit back up and put that back there. But now I've split it so that I can edit this piece of the clip or put a transition, something in between here. Below the video, you'll see the blue box down here is the audio. And you can control the audio, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see that audio box a little better. And one of the things that we can control with the audio is the volume. We can turn the volume down. It's at 100%. I can turn it up and down if I just click and I grab that little arrow, and I can make it louder,
some more detail
or more quiet if the volume you recorded was too quiet. So we can shorten our clips. We can add splits to them by clipping, by splitting our clip, and we can change the audio. Another thing we can do is we can add audio in. Right here under the screen is a little microphone. What this is gives you the chance to record extra audio coming in from the microphone. So if I click it, it's going to turn it on, and then here is the record. That's going to begin recording of the microphone. So say I wanted to add over here, I wanted to add some more dialogue or some narration over the top. I could set my cursor there. I could click my record button, and it's going to count down for me. And now whatever I'm talking is getting recorded as a separate part of this clip. You can see down here, this orange part that's growing, that is another audio clip being added. And so you can see it's separated from the audio that's embedded with the video. So I can record this separately, and I can edit it separately. Whenever I'm done, I go back up here underneath my preview screen, and I click the record button to make it stop. And now you can see I have this extra audio down here. And if I'm to play it, it's playing both of those audios at the same time. So you can see it's separated. So if you wanted to add your own kind of sound effects or your own audio on top, or if you wanted to record silent and then add your audio in later, you can by just hitting the little microphone button here and hitting the record button to record your audio. And of course, I can just turn it off, take it out, and now we're out of microphone recording mode. And if I wanted to, I could just go back in. So now we have a movie that's got some audio, and it's got some breaks in it, it's got some cuts, but those cuts are kind of rough. In this case right here, this is a jump cut. It just goes from one to the next. That's all it does. Just one from one clip to the next. What I can do is I can put a transition in there. I can put something that softens that change, like a fade, like a crossfade. And so up here in transitions, if I click on the transition menu, here's all my different transitions. I can just grab these and click them and drop them in. So I grab this one and I'm just going to drop it in here between those two clips. Now I've got a transition. Now if I play those clips through, you can see that instead of a jump cut, it makes a crossfade transition. That's a much softer transition. Instead of just jumping from one right to the next, now it fades the two in and out from one another. I could also delete that transition and I could put a fade to black. If I wanted to put a fade to black in there, now you'll see that my one clip is going to fade out to black and fade into the next clip. And again, you can try a bunch of these different transitions, whichever one works best for you guys. There's a bunch of them in there, and some of them can be a little silly, but sometimes they're fun. For instance, if you wanted to put one that was like a cube, let's see what this one looks like.
Up a little bit.
If we put this in, then it makes a transition that spins a cube. So it didn't do it because it was getting kind of warmed up. Let's try it. It should do it all right the second time. You see how it spins it around? Just like as if it was on different sides of a cube. So there's lots of different transitions you can put in there. You can also put a transition at the very beginning. Let's say a fade to black at the beginning, and this will help your movie sort of fade in slowly instead of just start right with the beginning of a clip. And in the same way, you could do it at the end. You could put a fade to black at the end of your movie, and now your movie, instead of just sort of timing out, will now fade itself into black.
A little block, and then
and I just went to repeat the beginning. I'll go back to the end here. And again, I'm using the space bar as a play and a pause. Try to get used to that instead of using this button up here. It's much easier. So now our movie fades to black. So you have transitions you can put at the beginning to fade your movie in. You have transitions that you can put in between clips that may be fun. Let's try this circle.
Up a little bit.
You can put transitions in between your clips to go from one clip to another. You can split your clips if you want to take a part of the movie out. You can shorten your clips by grabbing the beginning and dragging them in or out again. You can do the same thing with the end. You can control the volume of the audio that's embedded by the blue audio line below the video. And you can also add your own audio in by clicking the mic here and pushing the record button and recording your own audio track separately from the audio that's inside embedded with the video clip. So that's very simply putting it together in iMovie, dragging clips in, importing media, then dragging them to your timeline, putting in transitions between your clips, splitting your clips if you want to edit parts out of your movie, adding audio on top of the audio that's embedded with your video, adding a transition to the end of your movie so that your movie fades out to black instead of just stopping on a dime. So once you've got all that put together and you've watched your movie and you think it looks pretty good, then we go to saving, that is exporting our movie. And we do that by going up to File at the top, and we click on Share. Share is what iMovie calls, so we go to File at the top, and then Share, and then we can go to File. Share, and then File. You can see you can share it to several other different things like YouTube or email. Those are just saving it as different types of files and different sizes. But if you just go to File, then it gives you the opportunity to name it. That's what this is here. So we could name this. You would name it your first initial and last name, like we've been doing for other projects. underscore family drama, the name of the project. And then you get to choose sort of your resolution. 1080p is high res, 720 is a little smaller, but that will make the movie smaller. And you can see that this is 331 megs already. Quality medium, you can set the quality to low, that's okay. And you can see it makes it smaller, 170 megabytes, which is a reasonable size. And my video is 5 minutes long. That's much longer than your guys will be. I had you guys keep it to just a couple of minutes, so they'll be smaller. Once you've chosen these settings, then you can go to next. And it will ask you where you want to save it. And so I'll navigate to the folder that I'm using to create this tutorial. And I'll go ahead and I'll save it in there. And then you can see up in the top corner here, there's a little timer, and you'll see that this starts to go around while it starts to save the movie. And it will take a little time, but after a few minutes, it will be saved as that MP4 on your desktop, and you'll be all done. Feel free to email me any questions you guys have about making the movie, and have a great rest of the day.